Hey there, Dave Gardner here, and I just want to share with you how to add a template into your own email so that your emails can be a little bit better looking. And so if you take a look at, a typical email, so for example, this is just an email response that I got a subscriber, but if you typically look at an email, I want to find one from Joel Tarian, the CEO of SendShark and Now Lifestyle. And so, for example, here we go. Important about the SendShark contest. All right, so notice how we have a little better appealing email. He's got images in it. He has a background. He's got his own stuff. He's got ways to contact and connect. So, for example, if we click on this and at the bottom of the screen, you can see, and this is going to open up in a new window, it's going to go to Joel's Facebook page. So we see that up there, Joel's Facebook page, to go to his old stuff. If you want to connect to Instagram, we can go to Joel's Instagram page. And so all of these are possible options. Great face right there, but you can connect things to him. And so I want to do the same thing, and I've actually done that for you here. And so I want to kind of just share that. And so in the file that you've just downloaded, so I want to make sure we have it here, the email template, you're going to get this and download all of this code. And what I've done is I've highlighted the areas that you really need to focus on changing. And so that should pretty much give you, I believe, everything. I kind of went through it with a fine-tooth comb. I'm not perfect in HTML, but I think I went through everything that you need to change. And so, for example, the image at the top you need to change. Notice there's some dimensions on there. So if you create your own image, you want it to be about 250 pixels high, okay? And then width, you can just do 100% and it will just fill up as much as it is. So make sure it's maybe a wider image anyways. Don't have a narrow image. If you have a really narrow image, and what happens if you will spread it out to 100%, it'll draw it out. So make sure you check it, and maybe if you do a test email or get yourself on your own email list, I would recommend that. Register and opt in for your own email list so you can get the emails and you can see how it's appearing. So this would be your image, whatever image you have stored. So for example, if we take this information and if I highlight that right there, and if we go into open up a new window and I paste that, I'm just going to get this image right here. So this is the image. So you have to have your image stored someplace in order to do that, just so it constantly can be pulled, whenever they actually open that up. And so notice I'm going to have something different than this. I'm not going to just say nowlifestyle.com. I want to brand myself, and that's what you want to do. You want to brand yourself in the process, and I have it stored on my blog. So that is in there. There's places where there's codes, I want to welcome you to, blah, blah, blah. If you're using this for Now Lifestyle, or if you're using this for SendShark, a lot of this is already ready for you. Then what you need to do is just change the code inside and change the text of your information each time. So, of course, highlight, change your name there. When you put this in there, open it up and dump it in, and you can look at them at the same time, if that makes sense. And so, Facebook, the links that I showed you with Joel, there's my link to my Facebook fan page, so you can connect with me. There's my Instagram. So you would basically just take those codes right there. You'd use your username for Instagram, or you'd use the code that would be in Facebook. Now, if you have a fan page, that's the ending part of your fan page, domain. So facebook.com/ whatever you named your fan page usually is that way. And when you go to your fan page, it's usually at the top. So for example, if we log into Facebook, and if I open up Facebook here, and if we pull up my fan page, hey, look, there's Joel, shocker. And so if we pull up the fan page, or one of my fan pages, Now Lifestyle Syracuse is one of them. And so I could brand that if I wanted to, create a Syracuse or a regional series of emails for people that have opted in that live close to me. And so if we just open that up, notice at the very top, facebook.com/nowlifestylesyracuse is that code. But if we go to my other fan page, which is based more on me, notice facebook.com/theDaveGardner. And so that will redirect people right to your fan page. And so, again, I have that changed. I have, when we have Instagram in there, there's other things you could do. You can manipulate those and change those. But one of the cool things is that the image is actually stored by Joel. So we're actually going to be using some of his images, but it's going to be linked to our stuff. And so you might see that in there with some of the image names as we go through there. So down here, I've changed another image, again, the profile picture, making sure that that's mine, okay, instead of Joel's. And so at the very bottom, that's my profile picture, which is a different shape. Notice it's 300, but only a height of 286. So it's more of a square, and that's a picture of me. And then we have, let's see, just some of my details, my log, my blog, or link to my blog. And again, that's pretty much about it. Again, changing the Facebook link, Instagram, and then there's a place for Twitter. And again, maybe you have something else down there, and then make sure your address is all set. So that's all the funky code. You don't have to learn how to use it, but I'm going to show you what you need to do. And so, for example, if you're there, all you got to do is, if you do Control A, if you're using a PC, I'm not sure how it works on a Mac, but if you do Control A and then Control C, Control A highlights everything, Control C copies it. Otherwise, if you take and you click and then you just drag your mouse all the way to the very bottom, you want to make sure that you have everything in there, every single bit of code. Otherwise, there might be errors. Then you would right-click your mouse, of course, and then you're going to choose Copy. When I go back into my campaigns and I go into my emails, now we're assuming you have everything set up, and this is just one of my test accounts. If you go in and let's say you create a follow-up message, you want to make sure it has stuff in there. And so again, I just tested a couple things. So let's say you're creating a new follow-up. So I'm going to do add follow-up instead. And we're going to do something like connect with me on social media. Okay, just something simple. And so what I want to do here, I can't really do all the work down here, but what we're looking for is just to add the code, and then we're going to modify it. And so this little thing that looks like a double bracket, or two little diamonds, the source code, when you click on that, you're going to get a window that pops open. And all you're going to do is you're going to right click and do paste. Or if you did the Control C first, you're going to do Control V as in vacuum after that. And what that'll do is that will paste all your code. So all your code is in there. And so one of the things that you might want to do first is where I gave you the document. Go in where the document is highlighted in yellow and change those things to fit you, because it might be harder for you after you paste it, because notice all the highlights went. So as soon as I press OK, bam, look, there it is. So there's that same picture. Notice it's been squished a little bit, but you have to keep in mind this image has been compressed for this window screen, but on someone's computer it might be wider, or on their phone it might be changed as well. So just keep that in perspective. So that was the same picture that we had right here. And so notice here's all the things. So subscriber first name, you don't have to change that, because assuming they subscribed, that's into the system. And if they've collected, or you have collected the subscriber first name as part of your code when you did your opt-in form, if you're doing this for the autoresponder, you can set it that way, and then that will automatically populate their name in there, assuming that is set. And so, where it says Dave Gardner here, hopefully you have changed your name. But everything is all set again, and you can change this content. I can come in here. If I don't want this, I could just say, if this is the third email, I'm not going to say welcome on the third email. I'm going to say, connect with me. Let's see if I can spell right. Connect with me in the social world. Okay. And so now I just instantly change that. And so you can change the whole scope of your emails. For example, I can delete this whole thing, and let's see if we get rid of that. And then notice I had that other picture that's just more like a square. I got some information. Change your details, change your contact, change your blog or your website, whatever you're connected to. But these are all things you can edit. And then what you have to do, if you just do Control A and then Control C again, you're going to highlight everything. You also need to bring that down here and then do Control V, or right click and paste. And so one of the things you have to check into is you're going to have just the details, the simplified details of that email. You're not going to have the images. It's text only. Now this doesn't mean text message as it goes into the phone like a text message. It's just a message only in text. Okay. And so notice I have my basic details. There's Facebook, there's Instagram. And down here, it might get a little wonky because it's showing other random stuff, but it might not be that too bad. You might want to get rid of this Facebook, Instagram, Twitter part, because again, there's no link and it just doesn't make sense. So make sure it's appealing. If you want to get rid of this copyright stuff, that's fine. Or if you want to protect yourself, mention. So for example, if you're referencing other websites, assume I have an affiliate relationship with them and making some money from them, just to protect yourself, maybe update the copyright, to whatever year it is, and then bam, you're good to go. And so again, this bottom one should be there. A lot of times it won't let you send if you don't have it there. And once you're done, then you would just click the add button, and then you'd have that third email, or you'd have a new email that says connect with me on social media. So that is pretty much it when you come to the follow-ups. Hopefully that has made sense. Sorry, I took a little time there in the beginning to try to find one of those posts from Joel, just to again show you something a little bit different. Now, this is just one example. You can play around with this a lot. You can go into the settings. If you go into your broadcast, or if you have your own HTML editors, you can copy and paste it in there, and you can probably change the background, and you can make it a little bit different just based on that. But again, just showing you something quick and easy, and just to make it look a little nicer. And then once you were to send that, so for example, if we send this, we click add, and notice there it's in the system, and it's my third one there, and it's just a test one, so it's not going to go out to anyone really. I was just kind of testing this out, but notice it showed up here in my follow-up series. Okay, you'd want to make sure that it's in the follow-up series. Now, if it's in a broadcast, that's a little bit different. And so what happens is you would do the same process in a broadcast email. You go to send broadcast instead of follow-up. You just choose the campaigns you want to send to. Again, so connect with me, or connect on social media. And so again, I'm going to go in, I'm going to choose the code, or click the code button. I want to make sure that I have my code. So I went back to the original page and copied all the text, and I'm going to paste it in there. So either Control V or right click paste. I'm going to click OK, and I'm going to send this. So again, I want to show you and walk you through this here. Connect with me here. Connect with me in the social world below. And then Dave Gardner here. Let's see, we're going to get rid of all this junk. All right, we're just going to say, and I want you to see my social profiles below. Reach out to connect. Now, again, this is a very generic email. I'm not doing anything great, but I just want to show you the process. So, let's see. See the icons below for FB, Instagram, and Twitter. Okay, just because we have those three. If you, again, want to play into the code, you could change the images, so on and so forth. So that's right there. Again, I'm going to do Control A and Control C in this box, and I'm going to come down here into this box, and I'm going to paste it. And so again, notice we just see a jumbled mess. We see some code. Notice how it says subscriber first name. We're going to click add. Once you go into add on the broadcast, follow-ups are different because they just go in the system. In the broadcast, you have to click this button over here. Make sure you click that button, otherwise it will stay pending forever. So click that button, it will queue it up, and it will send it out. So this is a test account. It's 4:45 p.m. on 4:45 p.m. February 5th, which it was April, February 5th. And we're going to go into my email, and we're going to see if those come. So I'm going to let this stay just for a second or two. I'm not going to go too long into this. Because again, I don't want to waste time. I want to get you in and working. If you do have any questions, just let me know. Send me a response. Again, Dave Gardner at magneticsponsors.com or Dave Gardner at thedavidgardner.com. Or if you have my other email, if you want to reach me on social media, contact me whatever way is easiest for you. And what will happen is you will see those messages start to populate. Again, I don't know if I have it because, again, this is just a test account. I do have a couple subscribers in here, which are basically me. I tested it with, some of mine just to test for my own purposes and just to have something that was clean to look into. So we're going to make sure here that this is going on. And sometimes they take a few minutes. What I will do, I will pause this video for a few minutes. It's already at 15 minutes. I don't want to get it too long. And then we'll come back once those emails pop in. All right, I'm going to pause this for a second. All right, so here we are. It's just a few minutes later. Notice 4:51. A couple of them started to flow through. And so again, there we are. Connect with me on social media. And again, notice it's just testing was the name that I used in there. So notice how it came up twice because we just had that username pop in there. And so notice sometimes your email service like Gmail or AOL or Hotmail, they might block images. And so what you can click is if you say display images below or always display images. And so once you do that, notice there's my image. And then, there we got your picture. And then, there's a link. So once it's in here, so for example, last time I was showing you how it was connected to Joel, but I changed the information. So now when we click, I don't know why it says, probably because it's forwarding it through a GVO link. We're going to proceed anyway. So you can change that link around. If you don't want it to go through GVO, you can change that code around. And so again, that went right to my, my Facebook page. This one will go again to Instagram. And so what happens is that link there, so there's my Instagram, there I am again. What I'm thinking is going on there, if we look at this one, at the very bottom where those codes are, there's a bunch of redirect stuff in here, and what we can do is actually change that. And so if you actually take that and edit it, I will try to update that as well. But this whole thing right here can just be edited. If you don't want it to go through GVO or Now Lifestyle SendShark, excuse me, then what happens is we can just redirect that so that it's, it should just say twitter.com/barefootpainting or barefoot paint, all right? Same thing here. This whole extra information, we don't have to redirect it. What I believe Joel had done is he has some tracking on there just to see how many people are coming through his site. So what we can do, I'll actually show you that tracking here. If we change that, I'm just going to put a space there for a second. We're going to turn this whole thing into http instagram.com/ and now that's, kind of clean that whole thing up. And we're going to get this out of here at the end, and then it should be good to go. So just instagram.com/SuperDaveGardner, and then the target tells you where it's going, gives it an Instagram, and then there's that same link. This is the picture link though, so that's a little bit different. That's just the picture of the Instagram thing. And so it should be good to go right now, and you wouldn't get that warning again. So you may need to do that. So where before it was just this, you'd want to highlight. Again, I highlighted that whole thing. So again, if we go into the Facebook one, it's the same thing. Between the quotes, you want just your actual link. So, I want to get rid of this %2F on this side, and then everything else, I'm going to put a little space here again just so I can get in there. All the way up to the quote, you want to get rid of. And then this is http facebook.com/theDaveGardner. And so notice you have to have that http : / / and then your web link. And then it should be good to go. Again, this other link is just for the image, so don't worry about that, but you have the tracking removed. And so once you've done that, again, I'll do it for the third and final time, just so you see what's going on so you don't, or your clients don't get that error code just because it's going through another redirect. So we're going to go to http, and this is twitter.com/barefootpainting. All right. And with that, it should be good to go. So again, just make those adjustments and you should be good to go. Depending on when you're seeing this video, you might have the appropriate adjustments already down there. So just go and check to make sure that you don't have that other code. And if you find another issue of code like that, where you're finding maybe something going wrong or the image isn't coming up, let me know. I will come back and tweak it and we'll be good to go. All right. So hopefully you found benefit from this and you can make your emails pop out a little bit more and stand out again as you continue to brand yourself.